Africa's infamous Big Five. Among them, the Cape buffalo. For many, it's ranked one of the most dangerous animals in Africa.
The primal killing rage in a buffalo is something so intense that you stand no chance against it.
It may not have the jaws and claws of a lion, but it's undeniably a beast of immense physical power. When threatened, they've been known to trample or gore an opponent to death. In males, the crown of horns, known as a boss, forms fully at maturity. It packs a mean punch. Few people would be brave enough to approach a wild buffalo unarmed. And few predators will tackle one without backup. Buffalo may defend their herd members when attacked. So even a pride of lions might make a run for it. But it's this immense physical presence that has turned the Cape buffalo into a target. They have drawn many trophy hunters to Africa. Hunters eager to take on the challenge of a ton of beast capable of charging at 50 kilometers per hour with a skeleton thick enough to stop a bullet. The Cape buffalo has brains as well as brawn. They've been known to double back on an enemy and launch a counterattack. But no animal is invincible. Changing landscapes, hunting, and disease have taken their toll on the Cape buffalo population of South Africa. Lindsay Hunt long aspired to be a hunter. By 21, he qualified for a professional hunting license to take paying clients out on trips. Cape buffalo were a coveted prize.
I started with a catapult, and then I got a pellet gun, and then I got a .22 rifle, and it was a gradual progression. Hunting something that is dangerous, that can kill you, that presents this enormous threat, is more of a risk to you, and therefore more of an ego boost when you kill it.
But then an incident occurred that made him see buffalo in a new light.
My client shot a magnificent bull, and it was wounded, but fatally wounded, and it charged me through very thick grass, and it got to about 6 yards away before I could finally pull the trigger. I walked up to this bull, and he was dead. That color was leaving his eyes. For me, there was just an enormous tragedy in it, and here I was shooting this absolutely remarkable animal that I would actually rather still see running around.
This is the relationship between Lindsay Hunt and the Cape buffalo today.
Oh, cogs. Cogs. Those are so sweet.
Some people consider him eccentric, a hunter turned eco-warrior who thinks he can get personal with an animal notorious for its lethal aggression. But Lindsay has managed to bypass the instinctive wild hostility to literally get these animals eating out of his hand.
It's not about evaluating and being scientific and trying to read a specific language. There's no manual for this. It exists in all of us. It's this ability to just connect. And you really have to rely on being in as natural a state as possible, understanding the personalities and understanding the energy that they're giving off.
The turning point in Lindsay's life couldn't have come at a better time for the buffalo. The deep knowledge and understanding of buffalo behavior he gained as a hunter has been put to good use. This is South Africa's flagship game reserve, the Kruger National Park. Nearly 2 million hectares of African landscape that offers sanctuary to hundreds of species of bird, reptile and mammal. But thousands of the buffalo here face a deadly threat. In 1990, bovine tuberculosis was discovered in the Kruger Cape buffalo population. The first dreaded sign of a bovine TB epidemic threatening to spread through the entire park. There is no cure, and an effective vaccine has not been developed. Thousands of buffalo may be wiped out in the grip of this disease. The Kruger is home to the most diverse population of buffalo in South Africa, and losing this gene pool would be catastrophic. So the Department of Agriculture and South African National Parks has devised a program to breed disease-free buffalo. Lindsay Hunt hears of the project and sees an opportunity to give something back to the buffalo he once hunted. He launches his own project to breed disease-free buffalo outside the park and sell them to private reserves within South Africa.
4 to 8.
And he plans a different approach. He believes that getting close to the buffalo and understanding their behavior will be key to providing wild buffalo in captivity with an environment in which they can breed successfully. Lindsay takes the advice of vets and scientists like Professor Henk Bertschinger, a wildlife reproduction specialist.
One of the things you have to do is tame these animals down so that you can handle them without always darting them or confining them and stressing them. Because once you stress them, they don't breed properly.
It's potentially dangerous work, but a project like Lindsay's could offer the Kruger buffalo a lifeline. Airborne diseases like bovine TB can spread quickly. Simply by breathing, infected buffalo can pass it to other members of the herd. Although an infected buffalo can carry the disease for several years, it seriously affects the respiratory system. Eventually, the buffalo will waste away or die of organ failure. Diseased carcasses then infect other animals. Not only is the precious gene pool of the Kruger buffalo population under threat from bovine TB, but predators and scavengers throughout the park are also at risk. In the wild, Cape buffalo thrive in massive herds, sometimes thousands strong. These herds are bound by a group dynamic, where decisions made by lead buffalo, known as pathfinders, are followed by the rest of the herd. The first challenge facing Lindsay is to successfully enclose a nucleus herd of wild buffalo who are not TB positive. The second challenge is to create an environment in which they will breed and try to preserve TB-free populations on private reserves. Lindsay's hunting experience proves to be useful. He knows they are a highly social animal, driven by a herd instinct.
You can apply a herd mentality to buffalo. There's a herd mentality and there's an individual mentality.
Lindsay thinks his success in interacting with buffalo will depend on gaining the trust of one of the pathfinders who leads the rest of the herd. He needs to find a pathfinder buffalo that will react positively to humans. Lindsay chooses the location for this mission, Palabora, a town bordering the Kruger Park. Lindsay and his team begin with the construction of quarantine enclosures, or bomas. The critical factor here is the strength of the fences.
I want to come higher. I don't want to see light.
A fully grown Cape buffalo could reduce most enclosures to firewood in minutes. So no expense is spared ensuring these fences will stand up to one of the most powerful sets of horns in Africa.
Moses, I need everything into those small areas and get everything into the corridor.
Working with the Department of Agriculture, Lindsay is ready to start his breeding program. He signs a unique lease agreement, allowing him to take TB-free buffalo to use as breeding stock. They isolate and dart the buffalo herd from the air. Sedating a fast-moving target from a helicopter would be a serious test of Lindsay's marksmanship. Once they have been successfully darted, things get even more dramatic. The buffalo run for cover, hiding in the dense bush where they're difficult to see. This powerful cocktail is strong enough to kill a man. The presence of a qualified vet during these procedures is a comforting requirement.
Lindsay approached me to assess his future breeding stock, to see whether animals were pregnant or not, in their prime breeding age, or maybe too old. That's how I got to know Lindsay, and we've worked together on and off for the past 10 years.
36 cows and 4 bulls have been captured today and are transported by road to Lindsay's farm only a few kilometers away. They are the foundations of his precious nucleus herd. Lindsay makes inroads with a pathfinder in the herd.
Good girl, up. Good girl.
He recognizes her status. He believes it will be crucial to gain her acceptance, as she will lead the herd when they are on the move. He calls her Big Cow. It's time for Lindsay to start habituating the buffalo to his presence. This is a delicate procedure. Buffalo see man as a predator and won't hold back in showing aggression when they feel threatened. He starts by talking to the buffalo in a gentle, calming tone.
Easy, babies. Easy, my girls. Easy, lady cows. Easy, girls.
What you say is irrelevant. It's how you say it. It's the softness of your voice. In the same way that they vocalize all the time. I pick up the tone of what they're saying, and they do the same with me.
My pretty girl, don't be silly. My pretty girl, don't be silly.
But these are wild buffalo, most of whom have never had human interaction of any kind. After several days, no improvement, but he perseveres with his approach.
Easy, good girl. Relax, relax, it's okay. Hi, Wexico, come. Easy, Kips. Easy. Kipsy, it's okay.
His investment is as much from the heart as it is financial.
Okay, it's me, it's me, it's me. Relax.
Although the Department of Agriculture endorsed the breeding program, Lindsay has to bankroll it. He's already invested $100,000,
Easy. Yeah.
and that's before any calves have been born. If he's successful, he can sell the disease-free calves to private reserves and reinvest the money into the program.
Easy, easy. Oh. Brown cow. Brown cow. Hello, brown cow. Hello, Missika girl. The monster.
Patience is paramount, and Lindsay needs to prove to the buffalo that he poses no threat.
Good girl. Don't be scared. Come. Good girl.
After 3 weeks, although they are still wary of him, he takes the step of entering the bomas.
Easy. What are you snorting at? Good girls. Good girls. Three. Easy, easy, easy.
But it is still too soon to get this close. Even the offer of food doesn't work. Determined to gain their acceptance, Lindsay devotes endless hours habituating the buffalo to his presence.
With Big Cow, it was a case of spending time with her and actually sleeping next to the boma one night. You know, I slept next to the boma and she got used to me as this non-threat. And she learned that what was a threat was now no longer a threat and was providing food and was this sort of a reassurance as opposed to this threat.
Good girls.
But the trust has to work both ways, and Lindsay believes that the buffalo will eventually accept his presence.
There's a mutual trust that develops because she has the ability to kill me at any stage. You know, one swipe of those horns and that would be the end of me. You know, if I did the wrong thing, I'm pretty sure she would do it. But there's a mutual respect, a mutual trust and a mutual understanding.
Easy, my darling. Easy, easy. Oh. Good girl. Big girl.
Lindsay wants to make sure that while they're here, their life is as close to the wild as possible. He gives them access to roam free outside the enclosures. It's perfect buffalo habitat.
Nature is resourceful. Our system is as close to a natural buffalo system as possible. And the closer I get it, the happier I feel.
This also provides a valuable opportunity for Lindsay to observe their social behavior.
Come on. Come
As
on.
Lindsay watches the herd, he is convinced that Big Cow is a pathfinder, one of the lead buffalo whose trust he must gain.
Sweetheart, come. Come on. Come on. Good girl. What a good girl. Come. Come, sweetheart, come. Come, big
He starts to
girl.
call to her, and she makes her way towards him, with the rest of the herd following her lead.
Come, big girl. Come on, my girl. Come. Come, baby. Come, big girl. Come on.
Buffalo recognize individuals. They actually retain specific memories. I can stand up here and call my buffalo, and they'll come. Somebody else could stand here and call them all day, and they wouldn't move an inch. And it can take them quite a while to come here because they'll sort of feed as they come along.
And after 2 months, he can approach her, and she shows less aggression and fear.
Lindsay's ability to interact with buffalo is absolutely amazing. And there's absolutely no indication that these animals are stressed. They actually like to interact with them. And this is terribly important when you deal with animals like buffalo if you want to breed them and keep them in captivity.
We learn from the buffalo every day. It's amazing how much we learn, and the principles here are quite simple. Be as close to buffalo behavior as possible. We mimic that behavior in many ways. I mean, the way we interact with them is very much the way they interact.
For Lindsay, the buffalo is clearly an intelligent creature.
And the buffalo are certainly far more intelligent than I am. And they possess a natural intelligence that we haven't even begun to understand. What they can teach me about natural living and the way that they exist in their environment far surpasses anything I could ever learn in a textbook.
He's achieving a unique insight into buffalo behavior.
It's something that works on an energetic level. In the same way that, we all have a sixth sense. I'm very aware of their body language. I never touch a buffalo's horns because that's their defense mechanism. I never challenge their defense mechanism. And I always lower myself. I often, approach her from a seated angle so that she never feels that I'm trying to dominate her. It's quite an unusual thing about buffalo, is one would think that this sort of action would unsettle her, but they seem to really like pressure. And you can see now I'm rocking against her. Now, they're very tactile animals, and it's probably because it's something they're used to as babies. And as, with other animals, often when they lie down touching one another. So I always keep as much body contact as possible because it also warns me as to what they're going to do. So I know now that she's going to start moving backwards because I've got a lot of body contact. Because I'm in a bush. Yeah.
Lindsay and his team have ensured that the buffalo have been provided with a stress-free environment in which to live and breed. The 160-hectare farm is ideal buffalo terrain. After 11.5 months of gestation, the first calves are due.
When I started with the first group of buffalo and we were expecting the first calves, we obviously did as much research as possible and very quickly discovered that for such a large, obvious herbivore, there was an absolute paucity of decent information on buffalo.
The Department of Agriculture requires calves to be free of all diseases in order to be relocated to disease-free areas. Although Lindsay's breeding herd are TB-free, Cape buffalo are host to foot and mouth and several other diseases. With the first buffalo cow ready to calve, Lindsay must be sure there are no infected animals around. He also decides to remove the calves at birth, so they won't ingest antibodies to the diseases from their mother's milk. Although the antibodies offer passive immunity to the calf for the first 6 months, they could show up as positive indicators for disease in a blood test. Lindsay will need to sedate the cow in order to remove her calf.
Gently, madam, gently, come.
Fearing she may trample or fall on the newborn, he tries to lure the half-sedated mother away.
Grab my gun. Quickly. Come on, John, come. Good girl. Sorry, my girl.
He now needs to provide the calf with a surrogate mother. Selecting a suitable candidate means Lindsay has to try and work out what a buffalo calf needs. He comes up with a unique solution and places the calves in the care of some unusual foster mothers. Domestic Jersey cows. The Jersey cows readily accept the buffalo calves and vice versa.
First of all, at that stage, they haven't yet bonded with their buffalo mothers. And secondly, they're ready to accept the Jersey cows, and they make very good foster mothers.
But this solution is not without its teething problems.
Getting it to adapt to drinking off a Jersey, because buffalo drink from behind their mothers and Jersey calves drink from the side. So teaching both a Jersey cow to accommodate a buffalo and a buffalo to drink from a Jersey cow in a way that appealed to the Jersey cow were all stumbling blocks. There are a couple of problems. One is that the buffalo become excessively tame because they socialize with Jersey cows.
The other problem is that Lindsay's Jersey cows produce more milk than the female buffalo, and the calves can become as fat as butterballs. But not all the calves are born strong and healthy. This calf is weak and won't feed properly. Acting on veterinary advice, Lindsay intervenes.
Just start drinking extra. We've got milk that we took out of the Jersey cows. Is there fresh milk? Yeah. Okay, I'll need a litre and a half, just to try and feed it through the night. We realized that if you cover a buffalo's eyes with a cloth, a little calf's eyes, then it'll suckle because it's like it's being under the mother. So you can walk it off. Come.
With the bovine TB epidemic running its course in the neighboring Kruger Park, every disease-free buffalo born could help establish a strong nucleus herd for the future.
How's she doing?
In the next few days, Lindsay is on call to be the little calf's surrogate whenever she needs feeding.
Just hold my head over her eyes, just so she feels like she's under her mother. Just hold it there so it doesn't go off. That's not enough.
But her condition deteriorates. Seriously dehydrated again and not drinking, Lindsay is advised by a vet to put her on a drip.
You know, we're fanatical about calf mortality here, and we do everything we can to prevent it, but occasionally calves do die, and in the wild they die, and a lot of the time we save calves that would normally die. I mean, we've pulled calves that got stuck in their mothers that have survived and done very well, and we've had instances where there's a freak accident and a calf dies, and that's always devastating. It has a huge impact on everybody that works here.
But the little calf was born too weak, and Lindsay is unable to save her life. While Lindsay fights for a healthy herd, he has constant reminders of the dangers involved.
Big cow saved my life on a couple of occasions. I mean, against other buffalo, because she's the dominant herd. And I mean, I've been chased up a tree before by one of the young buffalo. He was very aggressive and always chased me. And I just sat in the tree and called, and Big Cow came. And I climbed onto her back, and then she basically walked me to safety.
Are you going to come with me, or do you want to stay with the herd?
She's a symbol of my transition from hunter to conservationist. And, she's a symbol of everything that's perfect about this project.
The quarantine regime is crucial to the success of the program, and anyone entering the quarantine boma must disinfect against disease. So far, the rest of the buffalo calves seem to be thriving with their Jersey stepmothers. Throughout the whole operation, everyone is making the buffalo's captivity as positive an experience as they can.
It's incredible that after 1 or 2 months, my staff started talking to the buffalo the way I do. They've learned this incredible affinity of passive interaction with buffalo.
Then disaster strikes. Somehow, the strict quarantine protocol has been compromised. The Jersey cows have contracted foot and mouth disease. The symptoms are painful lesions on the hooves and in their mouths. It is highly contagious, and to prevent an outbreak, there is no alternative to the devastating action that Lindsay and his team must take. All the jerseys must be removed and destroyed.
Come, push her. Get the runners. Come. Easy, 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 easy. Easy, turn around. Good. Watch out for the little one. Okay, easy, 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 easy.
The young calves watch as the cows are rounded up. They're showing no symptoms of foot and mouth, but they're likely to be carriers of the disease.
When we had the foot and mouth outbreak in the Jersey cattle, the reality of having to cull 14 Jersey cows was devastating for us. To load 14 animals that had become part of our extended buffalo family onto a truck and know they were going to slaughter and not been given an option, it was devastating for us. It's something I never wanted to do again.
The foot and mouth outbreak sets the project back more than $500,000. This batch of calves will not be relocated. They'll become part of Lindsay's breeding herd on the farm. As the next lot of calves are born, the role of surrogate falls to Lindsay and his team. It's labor-intensive, and the calves only get to socialize with humans. Desperate for an alternative, Lindsay researches an interesting theory that enables him to bring his breeding program back on track.
There was an incident that I read about where they mixed cattle with buffalo on an island in Kariba in an interest to see at what stage would the cattle become infected. They kept the cattle there for 2 years and there was no cross-infection whatsoever. They then got a helicopter, rounded up the cattle and the buffalo and put them on a truck and then delivered them to a farm. When they tested them on the farm, they were suddenly infected. So for 2 years of cross-habitation in a lush area with plenty of grass and no predators, there'd be no cross-contamination between cattle and buffalo foot and mouth disease. As soon as these animals were stressed and jointly transported, all of a sudden the buffalo started to circulate the foot and mouth virus.
Lindsay is halfway there already. Instinctively, he has set out to try and make sure his buffalo are in a stress-free environment.
It's my belief that the buffalo immune system and the human immune system are actually incredibly similar. You stress a human being, our immune systems are compromised. Stress in a buffalo causes some sort of immune compromise, and that causes them to circulate foot and mouth virus.
Easy, my bronco.
So if the natural mothers of his calves are not stressed, they are less likely to circulate the disease. Now Lindsay tries something nobody thought possible. Keeping the calves with their natural mothers beyond the 6-month stage and keeping them disease-free.
Most projects that leave buffalo with their natural mothers remove them at the 3 to 4 month stage, at the latest the 5 or 6 month stage. We've stretched that to 9 and 10 months so that the calf is actually moved when it's naturally weaning.
At about 6 months, the passive immunity from antibodies in the mother's milk diminishes.
At the time, I was told that I was a lunatic, that what I thought was possible was actually practically and scientifically impossible. And all those things proved to be wrong.
Lindsay is determined to create an environment that is both close to nature and free from excessive stress.
We make sure that our buffalo have remarkable feed. They always have access to water. We always work with them gently and harmoniously. And as a consequence, we don't have the stress levels that would occur in the wild.
Lindsay's hunch pays off. It seems that his calves are able to grow up within the breeding herd without contracting the diseases that are circulated when buffalo are stressed.
It's been an incredible experience in coming back to nature, effectively. Doing something that is as little an impact as possible on the buffalo.
The more he sees the buffalo interact with each other and the more time he spends with them, the deeper his understanding grows.
I can work with and physically contact about 20 of the 30 buffalo here at different levels. And I think that's something that one has to accept. There's certain personalities that love the contact, that demand the contact, and there are others that don't.
No.
Such as this cow known as Masika.
She has chased me on a few occasions. Big cows rescued me from her on a few occasions. And she's had the opportunity to kill me on a couple of occasions and not taken it.
Don't perform.
And the more Lindsay learns how to adapt his own behavior to individual herd members, the more he learns how to read their body language. This hard-earned wisdom helps him to run a successful breeding program and thus to help safeguard the future of the Cape buffalo. And it also leads him to take on another extraordinary mission. A herd of wild buffalo on a private reserve about 800 kilometers away need to be relocated to make way for a new lodge. These animals have had very little human contact and spend much of their time in dense woodland. It's not going to be easy. They're so well hidden that they can't be seen from the air. So the normal procedure, darting from a helicopter, is out of the question. Lindsay is called in to use the same methods he's using on his own buffalo and approach the herd on foot.
Oh, easy, easy.
One man and 40 aggressive beasts.
Easy, babies.
Easy, ho. Get away, boy.
Easy, my darlings. Easy, my girl. Easy, my girl.
The cold winter weather is in his favor. Offering the buffalo supplementary feed encourages them to get close to him.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Eat your freeze. Easy, mother cow. It's okay. It's okay. Good girl. Good girl. It's a matter of breaking one relationship. You know, once you establish one contact relationship with one of them, it spreads to the whole herd settles. And even now, I mean, the herd's quite calm, certainly more calm than yesterday, on foot, you know, walking in amongst them. Hello, sweet girl. Easy, easy, little boy. Easy. This is a very curious bull, and he's quite high up in the pecking order, although he's a very small specimen. Easy, easy, easy. And because he's naturally curious also means that, you know, there's probably quite a bit of fear in there as well. And you can watch by his posture that he's definitely curious and he's testing all the time. So one needs to be fairly careful of him. But at the same time, if one were to establish contact with him and let him calm down, because he's so high up in the hierarchy, it would make it a lot easier to work with the rest of the herd. Easy, big girl. Easy, big girl. Little girl. Hi, my boy. Hi, my boy. You're going to chase me. Are you going to chase me, boy? Hey. Sweet cow. My sweet cow.
Lindsay makes inroads with a pathfinder in the herd who has replaced her wariness with curiosity.
Good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
Go on, babies. Go on, babies. Good babies. Good babies. Good babies. What never baby?
After 4 solid months of patience and habituation, Lindsay finally succeeds. The entire herd follows him to the capture boma that has been built for them.
Come, big bulls. Come, babies. Come. Come, pretty babies. Come, pretty babies. Good babies.
Here they will be tested for disease, and if they're given the all clear, they can be moved to a different reserve.
Easy, 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 babies. Easy, babies. Easy. Easy. Easy, babies. Easy.
Lindsay returns to his own buffalo project in Palabora as the first generation of 22 disease-free calves comes of age. And the time has come to release them into a private reserve. The calves aren't released back into the Kruger National Park, as this will bring them into contact with the bovine TB virus. Their destination is a wildlife reserve in the Western Cape, and proceeds from their sale will provide vital funds to continue the breeding program.
Once you make the switch from looking for aggression to looking for affection, you start seeing all the things that you chose not to see before. I would never have learned what I've learned. I would never have practiced what I've practiced if I didn't have this tremendous affinity for these animals.
Lindsay has made an enormous contribution to the future of a species he once hunted. Putting his life on the line every day, as a single toss of a buffalo's horns would mean certain death. And while other buffalo breeding programs are also contributing to the cause, Lindsay's success lies in the incredible level of interaction that he's achieved with these creatures.
He's got an absolute rapport with them, and they're stress-free as a result of that, and they do well and they breed well.
Lindsay witnesses his first disease-free calves released into the reserve in the Western Cape. There haven't been wild buffalo here for over 100 years.
I was riding in the truck with the buffalo. They all came running and galloped around, and they were so excited to be there. It was the most incredible and rewarding experience.
Skeptics may have had their doubts, but Lindsay Hunt has achieved something remarkable. He found